And we're live. I'd like to call this meeting of the Oxford Town Council Committee of the Whole to order for Tuesday, September the 7th. We have got an agenda in front of us. Could I have a motion for approval of the agenda, please?
So moved.
Seconder?
I'll second that.
Okay, moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor McNutt, that the agenda be approved. We need approval of a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Black. Thank you. Moving right along, we got new business. First up, 4.1 working loan policy. You want to give us a little background on this, Linda?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. So the working loan policy is included in the package. This was started from our health and safety meetings. There's a lot of working alone in various departments, whether it's administration or out on the public works. So staff have put together in which we meet this Thursday with the health and safety, in which they will bring forward to the staff members on the health and safety to review. But this policy we want to bring forward for council's awareness that this may come into policy for the town of Oxford as council approves.
Okay, good. Anybody have any questions for Linda regarding this? Do we need a motion on that at all, Linda, or is that just a report?
No, at the next council meeting, we will bring that forward to be approved in 2 weeks. We need 10 days notice.
No. Next up, new business, 4.2, Town of Oxford visa limits. Ruth Ann's not here, so I'll turn the floor over to you again, Linda.
Thank you. So as you see on page 20, there was a request from our senior accountants. A lot has changed since we started the Town of Oxford visas. Right now we're running on one, well actually we have 2 visas. The mayor has a visa and the staff administration has a visa, which we use for all departments of public works and recreation and for administration. And we've come close the last 2 months in getting close to our limit. We pay the bill every month, but we came close to the limit because all the departments are on one visa. At one time, we had 3 visas out for each of the departments. So where we are still in that case because we don't have all our positions in play at the moment, it was recommended to raise the Town of Oxford visa so we don't run into that danger zone of being too short. Usually the purchases are very small. A lot of them are recurring membership for software, a quick pickup in errors. Usually they don't direct bill anymore. People are doing that less and less. And so we've come into a situation for council to consider. And this year we wouldn't expect to be approved tonight, but to think about for the next council meeting with regards to the visa limits. And her suggestion there was, let's see here. So they were suggested at the moment right now, the mayor has a limit of 5,000 and the town visa has a limit of 6,000. It was suggested that we decrease the mayor to 3,000 and increase the administration one to 9,000 until the new positions are in play. But that's just a suggestion. Council can modify anyway and say no as well. But we wanted to put that forward as an administration issue. Thank you, sir.
Question, Linda. You also have the ability to, you see a purchase that's going to put you over the limit to go online and pay down that month's balance, do you not? And therefore your limit goes back up to the 9,000 or to whatever you have. That's the way our company visa works.
To probably look into that.
So I mean, that's an option. Should you come to an expense that's going to put you over the limit, then you can pay it down in that month also.
it would create more work for example, but you can pay your visa every day if you want,
True.
right? You don't have to pay it monthly, you can pay it weekly or bi-weekly or.
Yeah, usually they look at it monthly. just
Right,
based on-
right, so it creates more work, of course, to do it, but yes, if there was a large purchase,
Yes,
you know,
we were
she
aware,
could
yeah,
pay that.
a large purchase. We could
And
look
then your
at
credit
it.
limit comes back up.
Yeah, it would be, it's just a transfer, isn't it, Stan?
But I see no problem with it. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
Absolutely. Well, something to talk about at the next council meeting as well. We're not looking for decisions tonight, it's something to think about for that.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
help streamline the administration. Yeah,
Get Ruth in to check and see how long it takes for a payment to reflect on our credit limit. Sometimes it takes 3 days for the bank to actually give you credit on payments. So get her to check and see how long it takes for an actual payment to go through on a visa, how long before a credit limit is back to where it should be.
okay, sounds good. That's all I have for your check.
Anybody else have any questions regarding the visa limits? Okay, let's move on to 4.3 tax and water collection policy review. If that's in your package, and Linda, I assume you're going to speak on it.
Yes, our tax and water collection policy, we're active on it. We're getting that, that's in process. And when we were doing the reviewing it, it states on page 24 in the package, number 12 in the tax collection policy, at June 30th of each year, all accounts will be reviewed, in which we had done. But the point that we want to make is that we should have that dated for September 30th, when all the taxes are paid in for. That's when the final tax bill is due. And that gives people time to get that all in case they're on a payment plan or anything like that. People may be in a tax sale position now, they may not in September, because there's a lot of advertising that will go after the tax sale, and just to be mindful of the situations, to be discreet. It may be better to put that to a September 30th date, but something to consider for council at the next meeting as well. But we felt that admin-wise, it would make more sense to put that for September 30th when we actually do the final tax bills to see what is owing, and then start the tax sale process from there.
So we made it September 30th, 60 days would be November 30th.
Exactly. Exactly. And we do have some on the list for tax sale positions.
Now, do we need that recommendation from council to send, from the cow committee to send that to council?
We can do that here tonight, or we can just bring that up at the council for decision, if you want to have time to think about the decision for.
I don't think we have to. We could make a motion tonight. if
No,
you-
no, we can't make a
okay.
motion, but we can make a motion to recommend to council to approve that change, to streamline that for the next council meeting. We can do.
Anybody want to make a motion that we recommend it?
Sure, I will do that. So I recommend that we change the date to September 30th for, I guess, section 12 of the tax and water policy.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, moved by Council McNutt and seconded by Council Jones. All those in favor of sending this to council for consideration, please say aye. Raise a hand. Any contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you. Next up, 4.4, Town of Oxford Violence Prevention Policy and Procedure Draft. Linda's been retooling this as well. Linda?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. This here, policy and procedure, is still in the works. It needs to be reviewed by your Health and Safety Committee. So we wanted to present to you, just a draft here tonight. It came out of our insurance as a notification from all municipalities and places to be putting something like this in place. And then we talked about it at our Health and Safety meeting as well. So this is just another policy we'd like to put in place to protect our employees here.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Linda regarding that? No? Okay, we will move on to dangerous and unsightly properties identified, a verbal report from Linda.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. So, I, have been working a bit on dangerous and unsightly on a few properties. But I received some, someone had replied, within council that would like to see more to be done with the dangerous and unsightly. So we had talked about a few, properties that, have been identified as dangerous and unsightly. And so I would like to list them off here tonight. All I'm going to do is just mention the civic addresses, no names. I would like to say that out of this list of 10, there are 5 on tax sale, on the tax sale list as well. I just won't identify which ones, but we'll go from there. So we have a fence line that goes around on Waverly and onto Powell Street, not Powell Street, Waverly and, it goes Waverly and, what's that other street?
River Avenue?
River Avenue. That is dangerous and unsightly. That's a volunteer organization we need to work with. There's barbed wire, there is pipes hanging out of it. It's dangerous for children in that area. So we have that as a concern. We have 31 Duke Street, 55 Thompson Road, 41 Pugwash Road, 103 Handle Street, 59 Handle Street, 8 Pugwash Road, and that's mostly, it's garbage and furniture outside, 63 Elm Street, and 103 Horton Street. So we're just looking for direction because we need a letter in order to start something of dangerous and unsightly. We need direction from either council or members of the public to address their concern. So I would like that direction from council to go ahead with those properties that were just identified here tonight. If we're all good with that, those have been brought forward via different public members as well as council members. Yes, yeah, I give it to you after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need a motion from us right now, Linda?
No, just direction of yes or no to proceed, and that would be enough that I need to start process.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Oh, well, I'm in agreement too. Do we need to vote on that or can we just do a straw poll?
No, I think the direction is all we need. That
Okay.
is okay. Yeah, that's all we need.
No. I don't think anybody would object to you moving forward with those.
Okay, that's good. It's just for formality with the process.
Yep.
Thank you.
Some of those, Linda, have been ongoing for quite some time, have they not? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next up is amendment to the land use bylaw. Separate attachment presented by Linda. I think you touched on this earlier, Linda.
Yes, so what this is, we have a land use, we'd like to see about rezoning. We have a farm at the end on Main Street. It's located in both the rural development zone, which permits agriculture uses, and the Main Street mixed use zone that does not list such uses as permitted. So we are requesting an amendment to the land use bylaw that consists of adding existing agricultural uses to the list of permitted uses in the Main Street mixed use zone. So we're looking for the existing agricultural uses. It's relatively safe as it simply allows existing uses to continue and make changes as proposed by the, there's a farm down at the end of Main Street. While they're, because it's restricting major new operations on new properties. So the process is for council to give first reading to the land use bylaw amendment. And then after that, we would hold an advertised public hearing and then give it a second reading. And then after giving first reading, simply allows that, it just notifies that council's willingness to consider the amendment. And then the decision will go on at a later time in October. Once the second reading is approved, then the amendment goes forward to the province for a 30-day review by the province planning director to make sure we're all, our T's and I's are done from there. So we're considering to do that, and I was looking at the advertising for the paper, because as soon as you put your first reading in, you gotta advertise for your second meeting. And it would line up good if we did a special council meeting on Monday night, if council so chooses to do that. And then we could address this one zoning to make this process to go ahead to assist with the farming that we have down there. So that's the presentation that we have regarding the land use there. They're following the bylaw, and the bylaw restricts them from going any further right now.
So do we need a motion at this point to direct council to hold a special council meeting in my reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
One question.
Mhm.
Is that the existing firm that's down at the end of Lower Main that's been there for 100 years?
Yes,
He basically just wants to kind of expand his operations. Is that what it's all
exactly.
about?
He did put a silo up. They were allowed to do that because it was an existing structure and they were prevailed on that, but they can't do any further. They have some big plans that they would like to do on the farm there. And they're restricted because just due to that rezoning, the zoning issue that we have on Main Street.
So if these changes are made, this only affects that one location, or are we changing?
No,
the
we're
rules?
changing the zoning on Main Street, but it says existing agricultural uses.
Right.
So anyone that's existingly using agricultural uses
Right.
on Main Street.
Okay.
So that protects us there.
Right.
I'll make a
Anybody
motion.
else have a question?
I'll second it.
Okay,
Councilor
moved by, okay, who moved it? I didn't see.
Colburn.
Moved by Councilor Colton, second by Councilor McDonald. All those in favor, say aye. Okay, the special council meeting next Monday night. Okay. Next up, we have section 5, reports on town departments. Everybody's had those packages. Anybody have any questions regarding the public works report submitted by Nick Purdy? No. Okay. Fire department report, Trimmer submitted that. My only request would be that in future, when we get a breakdown as to whether the fires are, we get a breakdown of what the callouts were, and we're told how many are in the county and how many are in the town. I would like to see it specified which calls were in the county and which calls were in the town. I wonder if we could ask Crewman to do that in future, or the fire chief in future to do that. Just so we know. Now the administration department. Oh, go ahead. Somebody have a question?
We're all good.
Okay, administration department report. Anything on that, Linda? Do you want to add anything on that, or does anyone have questions for Linda?
Just that it's been a busy summer. We did a lot with the D-transfer tax, a lot of back and forth, and our taxes are out, and people have been having vacations, and we're just getting back into the swing of things. We held a lot of our meetings still continue through July and August, and so we had a very good summer here at the administration office.
Do we need a motion to accept those reports, Linda?
We do. Thank you.
Yes. So moved by Councilor Deputy Mayor McDonald. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Black. All those in favor, say aye, raise a hand. Motion carried. Next up, reports and committee boards. Councilor McNutt, Recreation Commission. I see your name is there.
Yeah, so we're happy to report we have a new, the name of the position is Municipal Physical Activity Leader. So they'll be taking over most of the old rec director positions and a lot of the rec commission jobs, which is nice. I can announce. His name is Jimmy Ward. He lives in town here and he'll be starting next Monday, September 12th. So that's very exciting for everybody. I think we had a good summer. We had lots of kids in soccer. Baseball was huge this summer. We had some summer camps. We had 2 summer students. Well, 1 summer student and 1 helper this year. So we had a good summer. But it'll be nice to have Jimmy on board so we can get started. We will be looking for additional volunteers for our Recreation Commission because we will still have our commission to help our municipal physical activity leader with some things that may not be as physical, but still kind of falls under the Rec Commission. So like the parade or maybe Canada Day, things like that. So we will be looking if anybody's out there and is interested in helping out the town in volunteering with things, like I said, with the parade, Canada Day, anything like that, by all means, contact me because we would love to increase our Recreation Commission volunteer group. We lost a lot of our awesome students this summer too, to university. So a lot of our students who helped every single time have now moved away. Unfortunately, great for them, but not so great for us. So anyway, if anybody's interested in volunteering, contact me. And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Okay, next up, library report. That was sent out separately. Do you have anything to add to that, Councilor Black?
No, I don't. We're just having a meeting the end of the month, so.
Something to report then, hopefully. Okay. Policing Services Review Committee. Approved minutes were included in the package, and Linda's down for a verbal update.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. So just to make everyone aware, so our chairperson for our Police Services Review is Thomas Shears. He's a resident here in Oxford. And we met in July and we met in August, and we're going to meet here. We anticipate to meet on September 21st as well. Our next steps right now is organizing community meeting planning. So we're looking to meet probably, it's either going to be at the Capitol Theater or at the Fire Hall. We have tentatively set a date for October 19th at 6:30. And this is to a question and answer period and to talk about our policing services here in Oxford. We're also, our next scheduled meeting is September 21st with the Policing Services Review. And we plan to have an update of a report from our local RCP attachment here, giving us, and we'd like to invite all of council to this meeting here as well. So it will be our committee, plus all council members, and it's open to the public as well. This meeting is a public meeting, so anyone can attend. And where the RCP will be in attendance to give an update of a presentation of the services that they do here for Oxford, and breakdown of, and also to answer any questions you may have as well. Plus, the Department of Justice will be in attendance as well. So this will be a good information meeting, as well as the community meeting that we're planning here in October. So a couple of busy, important sessions coming out of the Policing Services Review.
Okay.
And just to note, all those dates, both of those dates are tentatively, it depends on active partners, whether these can come together properly. More information will be out on our Facebook and our website as well, so as we get more confirmation.
Okay, thank you, Linda. We need a motion to accept those reports of committees and boards.
Yes, we do, thank you.
A motion to accept those.
So move.
Okay, moved by Councilor Jones, seconded by,
Second.
Councilor Colvin. All those in favor, raise a hand and say aye. Aye, motion carried. Next up, number 7, consideration of correspondence. Email there from Michelle Thompson, Minister of Health and Wellness. I'm sure you've all read it. Do we have to go over it again, Linda, or is it?
It's just, it's in your information package. It's just to make sure all council and the public are aware of this letter that sent us.
Yeah. Okay, and there's also a letter from, I guess from East Hants, municipality of East Hants concerning recent changes to C&D regulations. That's in our package. Do we need to do anything with that, Linda, or is that pretty well?
No, we can support their feelings and with regards to the regulation changes. And we're just learning as what it will affect with Oxford as well. So it's to do with some of the C&D, and I think it's to do with pressure treated wood is what may be of concern to dispose of. So maybe if anyone knows any more on that too.
I don't. Do we want to defer that to the next council meeting then, Linda?
Yes, actually, I'll send an email out to council as
Okay.
waiting for a response back from Brenda. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we adjourn, I'd like to note that we lost Eleanor Crowley last night. She'll be sorely missed by this town. She has done a lot. Sympathies to the family. There's nothing else. We just need a motion for adjournment. Moved by Councilor Jones. Thank you. Good night, all. Have a good evening.
What's that?
I think so. I'm just trying to.